Okay, this is part 2 of my barrel stove build without a kit. As you can see here, I'm missing a leg. I've got a little tripod thing going on. I got 3 legs on it. I opted to do this second video here at this point so I can explain to you why I did that. My garage floor is uneven. I've got some huge cracks in here, and over here by the door it's a lot lower and just messed up. I'm pretty sure the floor where it's going is fairly even, but because I wasn't 100% sure, I threw on 3 legs, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this over here to its final position. Sorry about all the noise. Not quite where it needs to be. I got to move some things in here. But basically, I'm going to move it to where it needs to go. And then I'm going to weld in that last leg so that this way I know for sure that this thing is not going to wobble. Okay. Last thing you want is this thing to tumble over, fall over itself when you're loading it up or whatever. The metal's going to get hot and start warping. You don't want this thing to be wobbly. It's better to be safe in this situation. Outside of that, one thing I wanted to show you, this is a bit of a mess, but this is how I would suggest doing the legs, where you just have one long piece from here to here. And the reason being is that when you lay it across like this, it's going to ensure that it's in a 90 degree. Okay? And, so each one of these is going to be at 90 degrees, so long as your barrels are not dented up. And the front side, I opted out of doing that, and that was because I'm using scrap metal, as I've said before. And I just had some of this angle iron laying around and figured it would save me a little bit of material by using this to support this side when I was actually welding in this connecting tube. So that's why this looks so sloppy down here. Had a piece of that short T-bar right here, and I welded it to here, and I would have normally just, not worried about it, but the thing, these legs are so thick skinny, I'm worried about them flexing under the leverage. So, because its only attachment point is a weld on some thin gauge metal, I didn't want it to start doing this number and eventually rip up that metal. Especially with the heat, it'll happen real easy. So what I did is I just took another piece of scrap and tied it into here, which should strengthen it up enough where that won't be the case. That's another reason to use a one solid bar. I may do some cross bracing between the legs, just to strengthen it up. We'll see. I'm going to do its first burn outside without the door on it. As soon as I attach this other leg, it's getting really fucking cold out. It's supposed to be like 28 degrees outside right now. Not sure if it is, but it's cold. So I just want to get this thing burnt, get all the paint off of it, and get going. So I'm going to attach that other leg. This is where the other stovepipe will come in. I'm actually going to use this. I'm going to cut it just like I did the other one below, and then I'm going to slide it inside of it. How much I slide in is, I'm not sure. I'm probably going to cut it a little bit because that's the difference here. I would say it's about 4 inches. So I'm going to have it hang down at least 2 inches inside of this barrel from the tie point, from right there. This side has obviously got a bit of a gap, so it won't be 2 inches at that point. So I don't know. I may or may not. I'm going to cut the hole, shove it in there, see how much it hangs down. If it hangs down too much, then I'll cut it. If not, then I'm just going to leave it be. But during my initial burn, I'm not even going to have it in there. This pipe's been burnt before it was on my other stove. So that's it. As far as the door is concerned, I'm not going to build the door just yet. While it's burning, I'm going to start building the door. I know what the measurements need to be. I'm going to use some of this 3/4 inch square tubing that I have over here. I figure the door needs to be a little bit nicer and cleaner than the legs. So I'm going to use some of that to build a frame, and then my 3/16 plate steel, I'll cut that out and make my hinges and my mounts and everything out of this. For hinge pins, I'm going to use this stuff. I got this from a Rite Aid that closed across the street from us. These are a bunch of pegboard hangers for the racks at the store. So it'd be something that would go into the pegboard like this, and then they would hang their stuff off of there, whatever it may be, to sell. Right here, where that little T-bar is, that's where they would put the price tag. But I got a bunch of this, and I paid like, I don't know, $3 for it or something like that. I got a bunch of that. I'm going to use these for hinge pins. So, and I'll show you how I'm going to design that once it's done. So you can get an idea of what I did. But this stuff's pretty stout. It should hold up. I think it's galvanized, but it should be fine. So that's the progress. Subscribe, comment, like, stay tuned. You know, my third video will be coming. It'll be a short one. It'll be it burning outside and maybe me working on the door. I'm not sure, but for sure burning outside, so you can see the progress of that and what's going on there. So again, subscribe, comment, like, show your support. Talk to you guys later.